Hey everybody, welcome to What It Takes, a mini series where I ask the same questions to elite coaches and they talk about what it takes to become an elite coach. I'm your host, Kevin Shaw, and today we are talking with two-time elite coach, Amy Riehlman. Amy, welcome to What It Takes.
Hi. Thanks for
Awesome.
having
So,
me.
hey, before we get started, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am 27 years old. I live in Boston. I have a 110-pound Bernese Mountain Dog, and I live with my boyfriend, Gage.
And how much does he weigh?
He weighs 215.
Just kidding. Awesome. Okay, let's get started with what it takes. Remember, we're just going to ask questions. Same questions I ask every single coach. Here we go. Amy, how were you introduced to Beachbody?
From my brother and my mom, actually. My brother was a coach first and then got my mom involved. And I really just kind of started out as wanting to use the product. So it was a customer and a discount coach for a while before I jumped into the business side of things.
How long was that?
Gosh, years. Probably like 4 years. I didn't really understand or get the coaching aspect of it. And honestly, it took me seeing my brother be consistent with it long enough to show me that he was actually reaping some rewards from his efforts. So a couple of years.
Wow, I love that answer. That gives coaches hope. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, question number 2. Describe what those early days looked like. You kind of talked a little bit about it. Maybe you went from from customer to coach, but what did those early coaching days look like for you?
Yeah. So when I first started coaching, I was working about 45 hours a week in my full-time corporate career. And I had a 45-minute commute each way on the train. So I was pretty busy. I was actually also babysitting about 5 to 10 hours a week on top of that for some extra money. So when I first started, I just didn't think that I would actually have time. So it was me getting up at like 5 a.m. I started, getting my workouts in earlier, putting in a power hour before I left for the office. And I took the train to work. So I was on my phone. I was listening to personal development. I was on Facebook and Instagram. And then anytime I could sneak, I really didn't have the opportunity that much during the day, other than a lunch break some days. And then at night, I would say probably 3 nights a week during the week, I really put in a good amount of time. And then during football season, my boyfriend's a huge football fan and I'm not so much, but I was able to sit on the couch with him and have my laptop and work a lot on Sundays. So some weekends it was a lot, other weekends it wasn't. But yeah.
Best of both worlds, football and work. Good for you. All right, what do you feel are some attributes or habits you have that contribute to your success?
I know everyone's probably heard this a million times, but consistency. I think that's just like the biggest thing for me is I don't have like fancy, awesome posts and like crazy, running Facebook ads and all of this crazy training and stuff. I'm just consistent with the vital behaviors and inviting and posting and following up and tracking names. So it's really just being consistent with my to-do lists.
I love that. Don't be boring. That's not a boring answer at all. That's the correct answer. Good job. All right. What advice do you have for a brand new coach who doesn't know where to start? What can they do today to start achieving long-term success?
That's good. So first would be to go into your online office and see if you don't have an active coach, to see who your next upline sponsor is, your diamond upline sponsor, and reach out to them. I would love when coaches in my downline reach out to me if their coach isn't active. So just being proactive on your own. Obviously, Beachbody has tons of tools in their training. And I know you guys have your welcome letter that guides you to that. National wake-up calls, those are a no-brainer to get on those. So yeah, and YouTube, go to YouTube and say how to get started as a Beachbody coach, and billions of videos will pop up. What to do to start as a coach, how to build a business. So you just really being proactive is the biggest thing. And if you have a sponsor who's working the business, then that's going to be awesome. But if not, it's no excuse not to be successful.
Oh, I love great answer. Great answer. Okay. So the coach who is struggling or is thinking about giving up, what advice do you have for them?
First, don't give up because there's endless possibility in this business. But I think the first thing is to just be real and honest with yourself and ask yourself two questions. One, have you been a coach long enough? If you've only been a coach for 3 to 6 months, I always have to laugh when coaches, even sometimes shorter than that, are like, I just don't think it's working. And I have to laugh because it took me forever to, it took my brother forever to get me started. And some of my best coaches, they watched me for over a year before they joined me. So if I had given up, then, that would be my own loss. So first, it's, have you even been in this long enough? And second, if you have been in this for a while and you're like, well, I've been a coach for 2 years, how long have you really been consistent during that time? Because if you can honestly say I've been consistent every single day for 2 years, then there's something you need to figure out. But most of the time people will say, well, I've only been consistent a month here, a month there, and I fall off for 4 months in between and stuff. So how long have you been a coach? Have you really given it enough time? 1 to 2 years, I think, is like when things start to kind of happen. And if you have been a coach for a while, how long have you really been giving it a consistent time? Because you need to give it that 1 to 2 years consistently.
That was the sweetest way to give yourself a good kick in the pants. I love that. That was perfect. All right. And what is the best advice you've ever received regarding your business?
I think the biggest thing is just getting to events and getting on like the team calls and stuff. So I don't know exactly what the quote is, but I think they say a lot of times like leaders are built at events. I know that, getting to summit and stuff is an expense, but it's it's an investment in yourself and your business. And you have 4 opportunities a year to get to a Super Saturday that's like 15 to 20 bucks. And most of the times you don't have to drive more than an hour or 2 to get to those. So 4 Super Saturdays, National Wake Up Call, every single week is free. Get to Summit, any other events local, tons like personal development, entrepreneur types of trainings in your area. Just get to events, meet your team and stuff. So
I love that. You're exactly right. That's a GoPro quote right there. Get to events. Okay, yeah. Time for our speed round. Quick little answers here. Here we go. On average, how much time do you spend working your business?
When I was working full-time, I spent about 15 to 20 hours a week on my business. And now I'm a full-time coach and I spend about 30 to 40. So I have a lot more flexibility now. I'd say consistently I try to hit 35 hours a week. But yeah.
Cool. What's your average SC each month?
20.
What percentage of time do you focus on your own business versus your team?
I try to do 80% on my own business and 20% on my team. And I kind of map my day out that way. So I spend my first half of the day working on my own personal development workouts and everything, then my own business, building my team, and then going into calls with my coaches and stuff like that. So 80-20, sometimes 70-30, but
good numbers. All right. And what leadership ladder rung are you at right now?
Team leader, but I'm like this close to the next one. So
good for you.
That last one.
Good for you. Okay, folks, it is time for questions from a hat, where we ask Amy the most random questions. Here we go, Amy. Here's your question. It is, who would you love to be stuck in an elevator with and why?
Probably, oh my gosh, this is hard. Probably Eric Worre from GoPro, because he's, I could get a lot of nuggets out of him, or Bonnie Engel, because she just kicked butt and I'd love to pick her brain. Very good. We hope the elevator's stuck for a long time so you can get all those nuggets. I hate elevators. I'm glad that you picked some good people, Eric Worre, and very good person. All right. Thanks, Amy Riehlman, for being with us on What It Takes. Guys, this is what it takes to become an elite coach. Thanks, Amy. Thank you.